Hello, my name is Jessica Chansey. I am in Baltimore, Maryland for the 31st General Synod of the United Church of Christ, and I am a person living with post-traumatic stress disorder. The symptoms of this disability can be horrifying. In my instance, it often includes severe anxiety, including panic attacks that can be so ferocious as to lead to catatonia and or dissociation. It causes convulsion, the inability to speak, heart palpitations, hyperventilation. I can fall to the ground. I can hit myself. I have had multiple concussions because of this. I've been institutionalized because of this. And for that reason, I have Macy. This is Macy. She's a 6-pound, long-haired Chihuahua Dachshund mix that I adopted 2 years ago. As part of my therapy, I trained her to work for me as my service animal. We were able to work together to identify where in the symptom chain intervention would be useful to prevent full catatonia and or dissociation. We discovered that my hands will start twitching sometimes when I'm at the very beginning of the physical symptoms of anxiety. And she is trained to put her paws on whatever part of me is twitching and to lick, here she goes, to bring my mind back to the present and to show me where the symptoms are emerging so that I can stop them before they get too far. Her intervention is invaluable to my ability to function in day-to-day situations, especially at a massive convention like this one, and in a city I've never been in, like Baltimore. The city is so beautiful, and I truly regret to say that something horrible happened today as a result of having Macy with me in Lexington Market. A security guard, a tall male security guard, approached me and demanded to show documentation, look at her licking, to prove that she is a service animal. You will notice that she does not have a service animal vest. Did I mention she's only 6 pounds? Your extra small service animal vest tends to be for a 12 to 14 inch girth chest. Hers is 10 inches. So it's an economic hardship to get a lot of the accoutrements that most people recognize a service animal with. I did invest in a leash that I carry with me at all times and have her on so that people are able to see what she is. I informed this security guard that it was illegal of him to ask me that I do have documentation, but the only people I have to show it to are the TSA agents in the airport. I didn't have that documentation with me, but I did tell him that according to the Americans with Disabilities Act, that it was illegal for him to ask me for the documentation. He suggested I bring it up with his manager. I was already so panicked that the thought of being escorted into a closed room with men was terrifying. Plus, I wanted to be in a position where I had the law pulled up in front of me so that I could calmly read it. And so, when he made it clear that I was not welcome to stay without showing documentation of her being a service animal, I left. But I made it clear that I felt that I was being discriminated against, and that my rights had been violated, and that what he was doing was illegal. I would like to educate the people of Lexington Market, the owners, the managers, the security workers, as well as anybody who is watching this video, a little bit about the Americans with Disabilities Act. Because as much as it sucks that this happened to me, my real goal is to make sure this doesn't happen to other people. Disabilities are not just visible ones. Invisible disabilities are a reality. Not all service animals look like seeing eye dogs. Service animals can look like this. While there are some fake service animals out there, it is not up to you to determine which ones are fake and which ones are real, because often your intrusive questions can trigger something that the service animal is there to protect against. What the Americans with Disabilities Act says about service animals is, first off, what they are. Number one is that they are trained. Emotional support animals, companion animals, comfort animals, and therapy animals are not trained, and while they do have some protections, they do not have all the protections of a service animal. A trained psychiatric service animal is just that. She is trained to intervene with my symptoms for the disability for which I am under care. The Americans with Disabilities Act does not require professional service dog training. And that's a wonderful thing because that can be an economic hardship, as I said. And also, working with the animal can be very therapeutic for the person with the disability. It certainly was for me. And while once I save up some money, I probably will pursue some additional training from a professional service animal training center for the sake of consistency and possibly even more serviceability, it was not required. The Americans with Disabilities Act does not require vests, leashes, harnesses, IED tags, or any other visible indications of their position as a service animal. Macy's got the leash. That's more than was required. The Americans with Disabilities Act does not even actually require that a service animal be certified by any institution as a service animal. And you are not allowed ever to require any documentation that the service animal is certified. Because as I said, the certification is not a requirement. So what are you allowed to ask? There are two questions, and only two questions that you are legally allowed to ask. One is Macy a service animal that I require because of a disability? My answer to that would be yes. That is all the answer you need. Your second question is, what work or task has Macy been trained to perform? And I can tell you that she is trained to intervene in the physical symptoms of my disability. That's it. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, it is illegal. I repeat, it is illegal for you to request documentation for Macy, for you to require that Macy demonstrate any task for which she has been trained, or to inquire about the nature of my disability. I did voluntarily disclose the fact that I have PTSD, and I did voluntarily disclose that she works to help my anxiety. But that did no good in this situation. He specifically required documentation, and that was a thorough violation of my rights. It was I'm feeling anxious, I apologize. It was discrimination. It was harassment. But above all else, it was illegal. And so I invite everybody at Lexington Market, specifically in their security groups, as well as anybody who is watching this video and who may be interested to learn more, to check out ada.gov to read all about the variety of service animals and what they have to do, what they can do, what they don't have to do, and what you can't do in regards to verifying that they're real instead of some sneaky fake ones. Granted, if an animal is being a disruption, if an animal is defecating or urinating or being out of control, you can ask that animal to leave, service animal or not. But does this look like any of that? I don't think so. So please check out ada.gov. Along with this open letter that I am posting, I am also sending an email to info@lexingtonmarket.gov with an attachment of the PDF of relevant portions of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I'm also going to be sending a letter with photocopies of the same. I will file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau as well as with the Department of Justice. And I would urge all ministers, lay people, and other representatives of the United Church of Christ that are here at General Synod in Baltimore, and all visitors to Baltimore that may be seeing this, not to go to Lexington Market until this matter has been resolved. I appreciate your support, but most importantly, I appreciate your desire to be educated on a very important issue for all people with disabilities. Thank you, and God bless you.